Okay, so let's talk about content theory. Now, this honestly is one of my favorite topics, and it's one of the things that I think for so many of us we overlook and or we assume and we don't pay enough attention to it. But this is the key. This is the thing that makes the biggest difference when we are creating content that actually helps to move people. So we've seen it. We've seen people who are great at creating content and they tell great stories and it's always really awesome, but we don't know who they are, what they do really, and it's just kind of cool. And we engage with their stuff, we enjoy their stuff, but we never actually become customers of theirs, even if we were their ideal customer. Then we've also seen, and you've probably experienced, creating content and nothing happened. Just chirp, chirp, crickets, right? We've seen that too. But then we've also seen people who create content and then we hear stories about they did something and they put some stuff out and they launched a new product or a new service or whatever the case may be, and it blew up. And we're always like, wow, how did that happen? Well, it's because they've mastered the theory of content. So let's dive into what the heck is Atiba talking about with content theory. Okay? So let's talk about content theory. Now, the thing to understand here is content theory is all about your customer. It's about being obsessed with your customer and helping them solve their problem. Whatever that problem may be that you solve for them, that, my friends, is the point of content theory. That, my friends, is the point of content theory. It's that understanding, that true understanding of what actually is going on. What do they actually care about? How do we help them move? Because every single one of your customers starts in a place, right? They don't know who you are. They may not be problem aware. They may not be solution aware. These are all terms that you've probably heard before. So the thing that I want you to also hear here is content theory is something that you've probably already been exposed to, but you've never probably looked at it all together. My aim is to help you see it all together, because this is how we're rebuilding our channel, okay? This is the work we're doing right now to rebuild our channel. And what it is we're trying to do is we want to understand where our ideal customer is today. What do they believe? What do they feel? What do they know? What do they understand? What scares them? Because once we understand that, once we understand where they are right now, we can then help them put one foot in front of the other and take the first step. And after they've taken that first step, we can help them take the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. You see, this isn't about creating the magical post that gets everybody to buy. It doesn't exist. That's not the way it works. You're not going to put out one post that's magically just going to do everything. You're not going to create one video on YouTube that's just going to be like, that's the video that sold. That's not the way it works. As we dive into the theory, the first thing that we need to do is build our ideal customer profile, our ICP. We've got to build our ideal customer profile and know who that customer truly, truly is. We've got to become obsessed with them and really understand. Once we do that, and we'll talk more about how we get them, how we build ICPs, true, in-depth ICPs, okay? Once we build that, the next piece is we've got to understand why, how, what. Now, this is movement. Why, how, what are movement. Now, you've heard know, like, trust before, right? People have to know you, like you, and trust you before they can buy. Well, how do you get them to know you, like you, and trust you? Well, it's movement through the buyer's journey. Now, I got to give credit where credit's due. This is adapted from something that I learned from Dennis Hughes several years ago, the why, how, and the what. Okay? These are categories of content that we create. So we've already talked about strategy, and you know you have a content plan. Remember when we talked about strategy and we're talking about a content plan, I added in that thing called a video brief, we actually create a bundle that has 4 of them, okay? We create a bundle that has 4 of them, and each one is designed to do something slightly different. And what they're designed to do is to help grow, know, like, and trust. And the movement through know, like, and trust. So whether you're creating content for YouTube, whether you're creating content for Instagram, whether you're creating content for any of the social platforms, for your blog, it really doesn't matter. Understanding that each piece of content is designed to move someone along the journey. And there are 3 buckets in that journey: the why, the how, and the what. There is no one post that does all 3. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. 3 buckets: the why, the how, and the what. Okay? Most of us want to create what content. I'll explain what that is in a little while, because we think that that's what's going to get people to move. That's what's going to get people to buy. That's where my big CTA is. And you're right. But that's not the content you need to be creating first, or most. So, when we look at why, how, and what we're looking at here is the why bucket of content talks about why is what we're talking about when we're answering a specific question now. Why is what we're talking about important? Why is it important to me? Why is it important to you? Why is it important to your family? Why is it important to your business? Why is it important? The why content talks about what my beliefs are about this thing, which is why it's important. We get to share philosophy here. We get to get alignment in philosophy here. Very, very important content when we're talking about getting someone to know who you are. Very important content. Matter of fact, it's so important that your why content, friends, should be 70% of the content that you create. 70%. Now, should it have a CTA? Yes. Is that CTA to go buy your thing? No. We'll dive in deeper into what that's supposed to be in another video, okay? Your how content, let's move on. Your how content, on the other hand, is exactly what it sounds like. It's how we do something. So, what can that be? Well, if you're a surgeon, no, it's not how you do an entire surgery. I remember I was teaching a workshop, and there was a woman who built custom yachts. And she said, what kind of how content can I create? I build custom yachts. I asked her, I said, do you believe that, in your why content, you said that what was really important to you was craftsmanship, right? That was one of your pillars of that you wanted to get across. And she said, yeah. Craftsmanship is big. It's a great. So in the how content, show how you install a doorknob. So the how content just needs to show someone how to do a small part of what you do. They don't need to see everything. They need to see a small part. And you give them the steps of how you do it. Now, and they may not be step 1, step 2, step 3, but in that video that she created of showing the doorknob, clearly there are steps that the person who is installing the doorknob is following. That's a how piece of content. We show them how to do a small part of what we do. So when your ideal customer is watching your how video, they're going from just merely knowing you to beginning to really like you. So they already know that you align value-wise, right? Which started to get them from no into like, but now they starting to see that you can actually do the thing that you say that you can do. And so they're beginning to like you even more, which is heading them straight along the path to trusting you. And as they're approaching that path of trusting you, that's where the what content comes in. Now, so many of us look at the what content, and the what content is always like, hey, buy my thing. Hey, buy my thing. Hey, give me your money. Open your wallet. Give me your money. Can I have your money? Can I have your money? That's what we do. That's what our posts say to our ideal customer. But you see, if you've built the relationship with your customer through why content, how content, then when your what content comes, the thing that you're doing in your what content is you're asking, would you like my help with that? Now, there are tons of ways that you can ask that question, but that's the essence of the question that you're asking. Think about it. You're watching this video right now, and maybe you saw one of my Facebook posts when we talked about how my channel got shut down and I was going to relaunch. And in that relaunch, I was going to show you everything that I was doing. And I said, would you like to see that? Because the thing that I know is you want to know how to do this. Well, it's a way to ask the question. Would you like my help with that? I'm helping you right now. Why, how, what? Moves you through know, like, and trust. No one will buy from you unless they trust you. So we've got to make sure before they pick up the phone and call you, before they send you an email, before they fill out a form, that they trust you. And the way to do that is by ensuring that you've created the content to help them move through know, like, and trust. The why, the how, and the what. The why, the how, and the what. Okay? So that's the second piece of content theory. The next two pieces are also crucially important and all about you. So the first two are all about your customer. The next two are all about you. And this one is your character diamond. Now, your character diamond are 4 personality traits that you share in your content that people can feel and resonate with in your content. We're going to dive deeper into this. I'm going to show you my character diamond and walk you through my character diamond as well. But that's your character diamond. And then the next thing is something that I borrowed from another friend of mine and adapted it. And it's called the movement language. Movement language. And the movement language are really starting to dive into what are the things that you really care about that you want to make sure are coming across in the content that you create. But those 4, your ideal customer profile, understanding why, how, and what, your character diamond, and movement language, my friends, those are the 4 pieces that make up content theory. Now, I probably haven't said anything new to you today, but what I hope is that you're starting to see that there are pieces of this that you've heard all over the place, but they all have to come together and work together. That's what makes them powerful. It isn't just that, oh, I built an ideal customer profile, or, oh, I thought about the, know, like, and trust. It's understanding how it all comes together that truly makes the content that you create super, super special.